ahead and use them. What would you prefer? Yellow spandex?
Did you see anything? No, sir. I didn't see you playing with your dolls again. Good!
Well, I'll tell you, nobody handles garbage better than we do.
You don't remember?
For you, the day Bison graced your village was the most important day of your life. But for me, it was Tuesday. What are you smiling about?
Dude, I almost had you.
Left cheek! Left cheek! Left cheek!
Hey guys, welcome to my next review. This is the Kotobukiya X Transformers crossover, the Humakani Shimada, I probably butchered that name, Frame Arms Girl Optimus Prime. So I picked this up from Ami a while ago, did the build on my Blockheads channel, or Blockhead series. So now I'm just finally getting a chance to review the figure. So first, let's take a look at the packaging. And like most of your model kits, usually the bottom has nothing on it. A really good, really cool artwork on the front. And then down there at the bottom, Kotobukiya, it's Hasbro, and I thought there was Takara Tomy. Yeah, Takara Tomy right there. So here's the top of the box, or just the side of the box. Here's the other side, kind of showing the figure in different poses. The accessories, and the bottom, some more of that artwork that's on the front. Here's some of her face. And then there are water slide decals to do different eyes, but you don't have to do that, thankfully, because I did not want to mess with that. And then all the legal stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the box. So let's get out the figure. So here she is. I still had her posed up, but let's take her gun out and then kind of get a close-up of her. Let me tilt the camera down a little bit since we're not looking at the big box. But yeah, here's a good look. This is the face sculpt I got on her. Really good amount of detail work. Fun model kit too. Very familiar, like a Gundam kit, I would say. Maybe a little bit more difficult. It's been a while since I've done a Gundam kit. So she does have quite a bit of articulation, so let's kind of go over that. So her head's on a ball joint. Let's kind of get her shoulders out of the way. And then like her neck can come up too. Well, it can come out, but as you can see, there's another ball joint, so I can give her more dynamic poses. Like, I mean, she can look down pretty far and look up about like that. Her hair has their own hinge joints, so you can kind of go up, down. You can swivel both parts of her hair. Well, and that's the one like little knock on this, is how this ball joint kind of clips in the back of her torso. It pops out really easily. So let's go to her shoulders. So her shoulders, she has a really good butterfly, plus they're on ball joints. So I mean, it can go up and down, forward like that, back that far, full 360 rotation. It can go up to here. I can't remember if the shoulder moves, but I think you can move the smokestack. So you can kind of move the smokestack out of the way if you want to go up. As you can see, the hands do not stay on the best, but she has a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, and then as you can see, the wrist, it is a swivel joint, and it can rotate 360, but kind of got hung up a little bit. But if you're used to like Mayfek's hands or just any Asian action figures, are sort of similar, where the pin is the opposite of like Marvel Legends or action figures in the States. So next thing, she has upper torso ball joint, and then I don't think she has a waist. Yeah, she has just a static, like the waist doesn't move. So next, she has drop down hips a little bit. You have to be careful where you pull it. Leg can go up to here. It can go back that far. This little waist piece is on a ball joint. You kind of get that out of the way, and you can get her leg out to there. She does have a thigh swivel, a double jointed knee. Her foot can articulate down, articulate forward, a little bit of a rocker, and then like the little wheel wells, you can kind of unclip them and they can articulate too, which is kind of funny. I don't know why you would want to do that, but that's a thing you can do. And I think that's pretty much it on articulation. Alright, so let's go over some of her accessories. So she does come with the typical Optimus Prime blaster. Let me put the camera down a little bit. And she does have additional faces. I got these all in a baggie, because I did not want to lose them. Alright, so let's look at some of the other faces. So there's that one, another shock, but like with a white face, more stoic. And then the same thing with like the human face, stoic. We have the Energon axe, and as you can see, that's just on a ball peg, so you can just pop a hand out like so, and then put it on the ball. One thing I noticed that doesn't stay on that well, like it doesn't take much to wiggle it loose. And then the way the hands work, so she has, well, see, the other thing, you know what? Oh, so she has like another little hair piece. I think you can do it the opposite way. on her face. Or you don't even have to do the hairpiece at all. But there's an additional head panel, so I don't know if you just put the hairpiece on that and you can just switch those out. But there was 2 of these panels. I don't know. I don't see a difference in them, so I don't know if they just... Oh, okay. So this doesn't have the tab for the hairpiece. So one of them has a tab for the hairpiece. Well, 2 of them have a tab for the hairpiece, and one of them doesn't. So if you don't want to use the hairpiece, so she has multiple hands as well. So there's like a pair of pointing hands, a pair of fists. So she has 2. She has a pair of sprawled out hands like so. 2 pointing hands. 2 grip hands, but the other one that I have on her looks more of like has a trigger finger. No, I think they're the same. Okay, it looked like it from this angle. And then she has kind of another pair of grippy kind of hands, but more gripped than sprawled out. And then she has a pair of fist hands. And then there was this extra ball joint piece too. So there, as like most model kits, there are extra pieces. But yeah, so let's see. I think I haven't done this, but I think her chest opens up and you can look at the matrix. Or it just might be a piece that comes off. Yeah, it's just a piece that comes off. Then you can kind of get a look at the matrix. And then it just pegs back in. Maybe. There. Just like that. But yeah, so let's do some poses. You know, before we go into some poses, I have her face off, and I'll show you how to put a different face on. So, I mean, you can kind of see there's just 2 tabs, 2 slots, and then a tab right here. It kind of goes in her chin. You just put that on, and then is what you have to do is, I already took the pieces off, but her like side panels come off of her face, and then they just clip back on like that. And then, so here's like what I was talking about. So here's like all the extra hair on this piece. And then is what you want. If you don't want the hair pieces, you can put that on like that. And it's more of like a cleaner head. But yeah, let's do some posing. All right, time for my final thoughts. You know, there was one thing I forgot to show is the base. She does come with a base, and then she has multiple holes all over her to where you can plug the base into to do dynamic poses. So now onto my final thoughts. So I enjoyed building this kit. Like, it was a fun kit to build. It wasn't that difficult. And I mean, I love Transformers, so I was interested in picking this up. With that being said, it has some really small pieces, and I actually dropped one of the that yellowish forearm piece on the floor. Luckily, my floor is not carpet and it's hardwood floor. It bounced and went far. Like, it took me a second to find it, but I think if it was carpet, it would have been a lost cause. But so just beware when you're handling it. But like I said, if you're used to Gundam kits, this is right on par with it. The other thing I don't like is, I don't know, she feels delicate. I feel like my fat fingers could break her very easily. Like, I'm not a fan of the hand joints. Some of them they don't stick very well. Like, they're very loose. The same thing with that neck joint. That ball keeps popping out. The axe, the ball joint that it clips in on is really loose. So there's just some things. It's just not perfect. It doesn't feel like a functioning toy that you want to play with. Like, it's probably what I want to do is pose her, put her on the shelf, and that'll be all that I do with her. And sadly, for the price point, that's the other thing, is it's like a $80 figure with shipping. It was less than that. Just shipping was pretty expensive to get it from here, from Japan. But even on BBTS, it's $80. So I don't say it's worth that, unless you're like a huge fan of Optimus Prime or these Kotobukiya frame arm girl stuff. I would say you can stay away from it. But yeah, that's all I have for this one. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. If you could, like, subscribe, share this video. Also, leave a comment, please. And then if you could, look me up on all the other social medias. I'm at Talib1980_collects. I usually do 2 reviews a week, Tuesdays and Fridays. I go live on Sundays, and maybe more. I'm thinking about expanding into some gaming possibly. So if you could, look me up on all those other social medias, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Peace.